Hello, and welcome to episode 13 of GBA Time, a chronological series for the Game Boy Advance. Our first game up today is Backtrack. This was released in October 2001. We're still in October for a little bit yet. This is a first-person shooter, the first on the system. This will later be ported to PC. You can play up to 4 players in death matches if you game link cable this. And this has a nice $65 complete in-box value. So this is quite enjoyed. And then we're going to get Doom here as a comparable first-person shooter in episode 15. So we'll compare and contrast those. And then as we get into the gameplay here, I apologize for it not being full screen. I had messed up there. But we'll get into the gameplay here. And you see there's single player mode and there's multiplayer mode. So there's a couple of modes here that we can play from. And I don't have anybody to join up with. So this would be great for a Switch Online game. Very interesting, at least. So we're going to do single player here. Oh, and I must have edited that out, but if you go back, turn around and go back from your initial starting spot, it will say, you have failed, right away, and it will cause a game over. So it was kind of funny right away. But we're going to get into the gameplay here. As you see, we shot an alien right away. Or a human, I'm not sure. I think that was just an alien. And we got a skeleton here. We keep opening and closing this door. But these skeletons take multiple hits. We got the shotgun here. And I was not able to find it when I was recording this footage, but in another playthrough, I was able to find a more automatic, more fast firing gun than this shotgun. But this shotgun can demonstrate what we need. Basically, take out all the enemies. We're gonna come in here. We're gonna save the humans, not shoot the humans as I just did there. But we're gonna save the humans out of the pods. We're gonna get some more weapons. We're gonna save the 5 humans. The goal is to save all the humans in the level. I was never able to complete the level. I am terrible at first-person shooters. So I played this 3 or 4 times, and I could not come very close to beating the level. As we'll see here as we get further on, I was able to get to level 2 at least. Up to floor 2, I should say. But we're gonna save the humans that we can. This is very alien, sci-fi based. We're going to jump around to some more gameplay footage here. But as I was saying, there's some sci-fi like qualities to this game. So reminded me of Perfect Dark in kind of theme, being a first-person shooter and based around aliens. So. I grew up playing Perfect Dark more than GoldenEye. That's the game that we received for a gift, for a Christmas or birthday gift, my brother and I. So we played a lot of Perfect Dark, and we enjoyed that multiplayer mode quite a bit. I was never able to complete the game at the time, But hopefully, now with it on Switch Online service, I might be able to go back and complete it. That would be great. So I was able to make it to level 2 here. We're going to go around here and be kind of stealthy. And as we're getting to pros and cons list, pros, this is a new IP, new intellectual property, first-person shooter. It's the first on the GBA. Doom is coming in episode 15, so we'll compare and contrast that iconic game. Multiplayer death matches. The graphics aren't that great, and it's more stealthy than action-packed. So there's a lot of running around trying to find your enemy and hoping you don't get shot, as opposed to very high action. I gave this a B. I ranked this 19 out of 49 that I played thus far. So I ranked this right below Jurassic Park 3 Park Builder, and I ranked this right above NFL Blitz 2002. Because I love NFL Blitz. I've been going back and playing multiple games in that game as well. And as we're getting into game number 2 today, Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. This is based on the iconic cartoon series, started all the way back in 1969. This was created as a non-violent, family-friendly alternative, as they were trying to get away from more violent programming, as we always seem to be. The first video game by Scooby-Doo was back on the Intellivision in 1983. And we're up to 2001 still. So we got 4 more Scooby-Doo Game Boy Advance games. There's one coming in approximately 5 episodes based on the movie at that time. So we'll be getting to that as well. And as we get into the gameplay here, this is a password save, as you can see here. And I think by the end of the video, we'll be able to get password, because it gives that to you at the end of the level. So there's a silly story here. But this is basically a silly franchise, so it fits the theme, at least. So we got to pick up the discs here. That will transport us to different levels. So as we see here, there's going to be 2 options for these levels. So we got 2 discs. We're going to switch to Fred, because my nickname has been Fred for many years. So I'm going to pick Fred this time. Alright, so there was the Coliseum and then the Ocean something. So the Ocean one, you are on a jet ski. You got to collect these tokens. Same as you got to do in this level, but you're on a jet ski and avoiding a bird who attacks you. And this one, you got the skeletons who will attack you. And for the video, I chose this level because we're gonna get an end of level boss here. That's interesting, if nothing else. So interesting to complete. So as we see here, we're gonna get this Frankenstein-like character that's supposed to be a mummy, but he just looks like a Frankenstein's monster character at the end of this Egyptian type level. And what we gotta do is jump around, hit him with this goo that you fling. Can't really use your weapon. There we go, made contact there. A little bit clumsy, unfortunately. I took a number of hits. Eventually I trapped him, and as you'll see here in a little bit, was able to get him down. So I collected all the Scooby snacks. And there we got the password at the end of the level, so there we are. Our pros and cons list. This is a beloved IP. A variety of characters to choose from, so you can choose from all those characters. Decent platforming and levels, so both the jet ski and this Egyptian level were okay at best, at worst as well. So all characters played the same as far as I could tell. Clumsy boss fight, and then the password comes after the level completion. So I've been critical of passwords, but if I can get a password on this pause screen, that's great. I gave this a C+, and I ranked this 31 out of 50 thus far. Right below Radiant 3D, our first game, and right above Atlantis, the Lost Empire. And our third game today is the Wild Thornberrys, Chimp Chase. So this is a Nickelodeon cartoon from 1998 to 2004. These characters do appear in numerous Nickelodeon crossover games, even to this day. So there's like kart racers, there's fighting games, stuff like that. So they're still used in that in those types of games. There's another GBA game coming based on this franchise. There was a movie made in 2002, so we'll be getting to that in probably episode 50 or so, 50 to 75, somewhere in that range. And this had a low complete in-box value. So as we're getting into the gameplay here, this has a nice art style. That's probably the nicest thing I can say about it. It has a really nice art style, and it has a fun story, at least. Fun characters, fun story, and I really like this art style. So that was impressive. And you gotta collect these cheese munchies. I'm not sure what for, but these Cheetos. In this first level, climbing a lot of trees, and that was the frustration right there, as you'll see. As you just saw, falling off that tree is an instant death. Even if you're able to grab back onto that tree, it's still an instant death, even before you hit the ground. So my jumping could have been better, but just the fact that I fell off twice, lost 2 lives there. There we go, swinging in the jungle like Donkey Kong. Can you tell I like Donkey Kong Country? I love the Donkey Kong Country games, so once we get to those, and I don't even know how long, those will be pretty highly ranked, most likely. So I really love all 3 of those games. And I fell off, trying to explore more of the area. But this game did have checkpoints, so not for nothing. And then I'm going to get to a more stable area, and I get hit by a black cat here. So we're going to keep jumping, keep climbing on vines and swinging here. There's a lot of points where I could have fallen off. Did fall off. I'm making my way through the level here. Got the health refills here, so that was nice. I'm guessing the munchies, if I collect 100 of them, I'll probably give an extra life. But as we'll see here, pretty soon coming up here, I am able to complete the level. Spoiler alert for about 30 seconds from now. And in all of my other playthroughs, I was never able to complete the level, except for this one time. So that was really nice to see. And you get a little bit of a dance here, but he gets caught. So you get a little bit more of the story here. Then you get the password at the end of the level. So kind of similar to our last game here. Alright, pros, unique art style, fun characters and storyline. The cons, the rough jump physics, easy fall deaths, and then the password after the level completion. So kind of the same kind of cons that we had with the Scooby-Doo game. And as I'm recording this, I don't think I had the audio for these PowerPoints this week. Unfortunately, I had made a mistake when recording them, so I apologize for that. Gave this a C-, and I ranked this 38 out of 50 thus far. So this is below Tang Tang and above Fortress. And our fourth game today, our last game today, is Boxing Fever. This is a first-person boxing game. This is a GBA exclusive. This has a $9 value complete in box. So we had a boxing game very early on, episode 2 or 3, I believe, Ready to Rumble. And I ranked that pretty darn lowly. I did not care for that. But this is a first person. This reminds you of Punch-Out with the play style here. And we're going to get into it here, but we're going to have a variety of characters, men and women, and across many cultures. So there's a lot of caricatures, just like you'll see in a lot of the fighting games of the day. The Street Fighters, mostly the Street Fighters, and all iterations of it. So we're going to have a variety of characters and a variety of cultures here. So we'll jump into single fight. This is a 2-player game link, so I don't know if I didn't capture it correctly, but the tall guy goes off the top of the screen. So I found that weird. So we're going to go with the Irish guy, Mickey. And you're going to have some men versus women boxing here. So, given the female characters. And then you can unlock some other characters. They're kind of palette swaps, even though they're under different names.
Looking right to the mat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
And I had it clearly on the easiest difficulty. So, this first fight will be easy.
Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
But you knock him down 3 times and they're out for the count.
To the mat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And down they go.
7, 8, 9, 10. Knockout. You win.
So you get this kind of celebration here as they're down. And then we'll jump into another fight here. We'll pick another character, Nadine.
Versus
We'll go against Jackpot here. So this is going to be a little bit different here. So as I demonstrated there, we got the password on the pause screen. So I'm making concessions about these passwords. If they're on the pause screen, that's really helpful. So you can pause at any time, take down that password, and save your progress.
To the mat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So there's a bit of a weight class difference here. She was like 130 pounds, he's like 350.
1,
but she still takes him down.
To the mat.
So, in many ways, I compare this to Street Fighter, even though this is boxing instead of boxing in first person instead of the side-scrolling fighting game.
To the mat.
It feels like that Street Fighter game.
8, 10. Knockout.
And we took Jackpot down.
Win.
And we got the pros and cons. This does feel like Punch Out as well. There is no Punch Out on GBA, so this is a comparable alternative at least. And then the password on the pause screen. Cons, there's unlockables, but they're a palette swap, and it kind of lacks a sense of progression. You can jump into any of the levels that you want at any time. So I gave this a B-, and I ranked this 28 out of 52, and this is right below F-Zero Maximum Velocity, and right above ESPN Final Round Golf 2002. And our full rankings here. We still got SI for Kids, Tweety, and Rugrats, and Caesar's Palace at the bottom. And as we see here, that Ready to Rumble boxing that I mentioned earlier is still pretty low on the list. And where did we come across our first game of the day? And there's our Wild Thornberrys. So not ranked that lowly. Bottom half, obviously, bottom quarter. But I did not run across a terrible game today. So anytime I can have that, I am pleased. And then we got Boxing Fever here. And then Backtrack. We got a top 20 game. So four games kind of middle of the road. So I was pleased with what I played this week. And we still got Super Mario Advance on top. And then next episode, we have Lady Sia, Prehistoric Man, Gadget Racers, and Monsters, Inc. So looking forward to doing reviews of those. I already played through all 4 of those games. And again, another week of not terrible games, including a really nice game, which I will let you know next week. So I'm very much impressed with one of the games, and 2 of the games were okay, and one was in the middle. But very nice games. And thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And I hope you all have a wonderful day.